Ladies and gentlemen, guess what? We have formal word that the SEC is closing the Ripple case. Got crazy news on tariffs once more. I am aware that we discuss tariffs every single day, as well as significant updates regarding the stock and cryptocurrency marketplaces, XRP, and some advancements with exchange-traded funds, ETFs. I want to start by pointing out something that is completely crazy. This is the manipulation that has recently been observed in both the stock and cryptocurrency markets. Alright, so basically, this ridiculous market manipulation resulted from certain inflation reports that we will be discussing momentarily. The stock and cryptocurrency markets first saw a surge, but soon after, the S&P 500 dropped 120 points. Since this was genuinely profitable for a number of different institutions, however, if we scroll down a bit right here, you can see that the S&P 500 and Bitcoin both had a rise when the US CPI inflation data was released. After the CPI inflation, you can notice a huge spike on each of these. Soon after, there was a huge dump from several different institutions that were hoping to earn quick cash. It appeared to be a pump and dump plan. Apart from that, we also had some other very optimistic conversations. President Trump has stated that if Democrats behave now, he will reduce taxes. What does that mean exactly? In other words, it will result in a stronger economy because every U.S. state with extremely low taxes has a rising economy and population at the moment. Their GDP is also increasing. And that's a lovely thing. True GDP growth is what we desire. We're not referring about the hiring of government employees. It isn't real GDP growth. We're discussing the influx of new companies, increased investment, and the rise in the number of people launching cryptocurrency businesses or any other type of business they desire. This is what will actually propel this economy ahead. And in the long run, this is what will cause the price of cryptocurrency assets to increase the greatest. Thus, yes, I agree with everything Donald Trump is saying here. I'm not sure what he means when he says if Democrats behave, but I suppose we'll hear more shortly. However, that is still incredible. Thus, I would like to begin discussing inflation a bit more now. President Trump has stated that the most recent inflation figures are excellent. Why is he now claiming that the news is excellent? Now, the inflation figures are better than anticipated. Not many people were necessarily expecting this to be the case, particularly in light of the recent market volatility and, of course, the current trade disputes. Here's the thing, isn't it? In general, tariffs cause short-term inflation. But this is a really peculiar market dynamic, and I believe that we are currently at a stage where the tariffs have not been in place long enough for us to notice a significant price difference. However, another really interesting development that I believe not many people discuss is that some of the businesses involved in these trade battles are actually bearing the costs in order to remain competitive. That is simply amazing. It would be fantastic if we could shift more of the costs to the business itself rather than the customer. Can we now depend on tariffs in the long run? Not always, but I do believe that every business should of course make a small increase in its investment in local industry in order to become more self-sufficient. Nevertheless, it's encouraging to see that inflation is declining. Why is this good then? It indicates that the money printer, can return to the internet. Quantitative easing, returning to the internet. What does that mean now? It indicates that markets will prepare to rise and achieve once again incredible numbers. Big things are coming soon. I believe that quantitative easing will be reinstated at some point this year. The Fed has stated repeatedly that it will resume QE if inflation data remain consistent. Additionally, Trump's first inflation report was just broadcast on CNN. This reversed 4 consecutive months of growing inflation under Biden and was better than anticipated. America is getting better. I will play this video for you all for a brief moment before we discuss it. Very lovely. For example, have a look at this chart. As you can see, 2019 was a relatively stable year. In fact, there was a very pleasant decline in inflation figures in 2020. Then, of course, quantitative easing, or QE, began. Additionally, we observed some utterly ridiculous inflation levels in the vicinity. Naturally, though, it has now been updated to August 2023. It was comparatively steady. There was undoubtedly considerable inflation and upward trends. But for the first time in a long time, you can see, once again, inflation is declining. In fact, we haven't seen that since August 2023, when there was a slight decrease in inflation, and naturally, that happened again somewhere around here. Thus, it's quite pleasant to witness QE. Even if we were trending during these times, I'm looking forward to seeing even more of that now that the Fed is launching QE. Now for the fantastic news, everyone. According to Watch Your Guru, the SEC is getting ready to drop the lawsuit against Ripple XRP, which makes me very happy. Eleanor Tourette posted a comprehensive tweet. She currently works as a journalist at Crypto America and is currently negotiating with a few folks. According to her, the reason for the delay in reaching a deal is that Ripple's legal team was able to negotiate better terms in relation to the August district court ruling, which fined the company $125 million and included a permanent injunction that forbade it from selling XRP to institutional investors. According to the explanation I've been given, why would Ripple still face penalties if the new SEC leadership is overhauling enforcement for all previously targeted cryptocurrency companies because it thinks regulatory clarity would address the root cause? Even while the SEC itself currently seems dubious whether any misconduct occurred, accepting the Torah's finding as it stands would practically suggest that Ripple is admitting to admit wrongdoing. Put another way, it appears that the SEC does not even entirely concur with Torah's decision, which gave Ripple XRP a majority victory. In essence, they are stating that, in my opinion, Ripple's original sale of tokens to institutional investors was not regarded as a security transaction. That is amazing news. If that turns out to be the case, Ripple will receive a sizable refund, millions and millions of dollars, and will be able to conduct more institutional sales going forward, which is what caused XRP to experience its initial, explosive growth in its early years. That is amazing news, far better than most people had anticipated, and it presents a perspective that few others had previously given much thought to. This may be infinitely superior, because Ripple's lengthy legal battle history is far longer than that of most other cryptocurrency startups. Thus, this is a significant victory. It makes a lot of sense if this is what the SEC is actually doing. After all, they have already thrown out other lawsuits that were far simpler than XRP's. So yes, I do believe that this is a highly likely scenario, based on the exclusive knowledge found here, and it makes sense that this is being covered by all of the major news outlets. I must say, it's quite amazing. Of course, the ETF ruling is still another significant issue. This ETF decisions review period has been extended to May 21, 2025. Many people are now questioning why the SEC is taking so long to make a decision on the XRP ETF. Indeed, it is rather evident what that means when you read Eleanor Tourette's post or tweet right here.